maybe after 50 years, T20 cricket will be the most important World Cup. But right now, at present, I think ODI cricket is the greatest prize in cricket. I don't know if World Test Championship or in future it can happen that World Test Championship and T20 World Cup. These are the only two prizes that are most important. But right now, still ODI World Cup has that place. So I still feel it is the most important tournament. And also,
Completely disagree. I mean, I also grew up in that area where ODI cricket used to be everyone's favorite. But with the interest of time, we have to, and feasibility and practicality, I think T20 World Cup is the way to go. See, forget about the World Cup tournament. 90% of the cricket we consume is T20 cricket because all the leagues around are playing T20 cricket. I personally struggled to follow the 50-over World Cup when it happened 6 months ago. I was waiting for it from 4 years. But when it happened, I was like, man, 8 hours is a really long time. And that happened, that thinking changed because you're constantly consuming T20 cricket. Hi friends, welcome to Cricket Caviar. 2024 T20 World Cup was something like we saw most number of sixes of any edition in a World Cup, but then we also saw the least economy rate for bowlers. So it had it all. And India, who was not even expected to reach the semi-finals, as people were saying, Australia, England are heavyweights, but we managed to win the World Cup. So it was a very good journey for fans, especially just 6 months ago, we had a heartbreak. So Sowmya, do you want to share like your personal view, like how did you expect India to win, and like what was the feeling when we did?
Yeah, we'll be excited. How will the match go? Will we win all? But last November World Cup was like, yeah, so we are anyhow winning.
We have it in the bag. It almost felt like that.
How we should celebrate it. It was the mindset.
Yeah.
Because looking at our chat, the way they played, it was like we are winning this. It was, and there was like, oh, what happens if you don't win? That thought didn't enter our head at all.
Yeah.
And too excited. I generally in Dallas time it starts at 3 o'clock. Okay.
It was very early. Yeah.
No, I woke up for every match, even if it was not India match. I woke up at 3 o'clock. Like my husband told me, like wake me up. I couldn't sleep that night. I was like even seeing in YouTube who are near the stadium, what is happening around the stadium.
Yeah.
It was like that. And then when it started, Shuru say it was like okay, it is going somewhere down the hill, but then I was not ready to accept that. Yeah, like this is not happening today.
Yeah.
But as soon as the match is over, it took me like a couple of weeks to get out of that mood. But nothing for Indian team. Like they gave their ultimate best. Sometimes it's not our day. Like,
yeah, we feel like it was most because of the kind of pitch we got in the finals and not like it did not suit us. And then, yeah, even at halfway mark, we were very optimistic because India had played such good cricket. We were like, okay, Shami is averaging like 10 in this World Cup. But Travis Head was just phenomenal in that final. Like we actually never acknowledged him much for his innings, but it took some like world-class innings to beat India, and he actually produced that.
Australian team, I don't know, they have that thing.
The finals handling pressure, yeah.
Final handling pressure, and sometimes I thought like हमारे लोग बहुत confident ज़्यादा हो गए थे, but no, it is not like that. They prepare equally for every match because they get those lessons to not to affect the previous match, whether it is win or a lose. They'll not carry to the next match.
Yeah, cricket may sometimes other team will have a better day. They will play better than you and they can defeat you. We have seen bigger upset this World Cup. Actually, Afghanistan beat Australia. So cricket field mein that day anything can happen. But for this World Cup, Sowmya, I did not expect India. In fact, I was the one to predict India will not even reach semis this time, and Shikhar was surprised by my prediction.
I will also predict for India's win to Afghanistan a little because I don't know, like because Australia didn't come into the. I'm not making Indian team low or anything like that. But pata nahi kyun we get tense to play finals against Australia.
Yeah.
So this time that pressure was not there because of
No, I agree with you. I think not having Australia or England, England we actually beat England, but yeah, not having Australia in the knockouts was a big boost for any team.
Yeah. I like. And a part of me wanted Afghanistan to win too. Like I love it, but because. Like
we were rooting for India Afghanistan final. Like
this 83 World Cup, how our Indian team came from that to a win. Yeah. I thought if something like that happened to Afghanistan again, it will be an inspiration. Like from the love of cricket, I'm telling you, end of the day, back of the mind, I want India to win. But yeah.
An underdog story everyone loves. So if Afghanistan would have won the World Cup, it would not have been. We would not have been so sad. But yeah, I'm glad India won. Like because if honestly it was for me a very beautiful thing happened because I didn't expect it at all. Even before the finals, I said, man, something is going to go wrong. We have a tend to lose the knockout games. And the way Klaasen was playing, I was like, oh no, it happened again.
This time I was unjinxing everything, like unjinxing, like nazar na rahe. So pehle I was saying, "No, this is not going to happen again." November thing, like in my mind to, but again it is good game and
And
hard
the
to
best part was
win.
everyone contributed. Even finals, mein even Shivam Dubey performed. So, and last mein
This
jab Shikhar ne
finals is like TV drama. It happened like a movie.
yeah.
Like it was the roller coaster ride. Like kabhi upar, kabhi pura haar jayenge. That was the mindset, and then they picked up, and like everyone came out with a clean sheet. What I thought, like if you take Hardik Pandya or Shivam Dubey or Virat Kohli. I mean, clean sheet, not in a bad sense. Like whatever they had backdrops in their mind, everyone cleared that and came out of as a champions. And even if there was little back this thing from even a single player, this wouldn't have happened. Because if there is a win, most of the time there will be a couple of champions, like because of them. But this is because of the whole team. Agar if Surya Kumar Yadav wouldn't have caught that catch, that would have been difficult.
I think
If
coach and
Bumrah
captain
had
were
bowled,
very patient this time. Like हमने देखा है थोड़ा भी player खराब खेलते हैं, they get out of the team. But like for example, Dubey, he did not perform in any of the matches, but they backed him, and so he did well on the finals day. So
see, we are seeing from a watcher's perspective, right? I don't say always their selection is good or something, but they have multiple calculations to fill a person in that particular thing.
correct.
I believe that like everyone will have different perceptions or their side of stories, but when it comes to selection for the World Cup or those matches, there will be a huge amount of calculation going on to select that particular player. Yeah.
That's interesting. How did you guys feel about the first leg, the matches that were played in the US, like the three pitches, Dallas, New York, and Florida? Florida में तो actually बारिश हुआ हर match में except one or two maybe. But how did you like the concept of having two teams hosting this, West Indies and US, and then the games in the US particularly?
It was good. It was good. I wanted to go to that India versus Pakistan, but it was very costly. First of all, Dallas tickets, and then it was always good to see those matches. But pitches here are like not that mature pitches, and I don't know why I like the low scores in the matches, like how it used to be earlier.
Yeah.
अभी T20s में 200 became a normal score, and but 100 struggling for 100, 150, seeing them in these pitches, I kind of liked it and enjoyed it. It was like nostalgic kind of.
Do you follow SRH in IPL?
I breathe SRH.
We made a benchmark of 250, and then after that, we suddenly reached a tournament where 120 was par in New York pitches. So it was a very different experience from watching as well.
See, during the World Cup, like when we were playing against South Africa, class and everyone, we were cheering for them for SRH like a couple of months ago, right? We like them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens in franchisee cricket. So sometimes you cheer for people who will be your opponents one day. But yeah, man, unreal World Cup. This time, it was very tough to first of all follow in India because the games in America, they were starting really in
morning and
in the evening, and the games in West Indies, they were actually starting in the morning time, 6 a.m. So we actually used to sleep at around 1 a.m. and wake up at 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. to watch the match. So it was, in fact, in the last week of T20 World Cup, I felt like my body was not able to see the screen. I was not able to see the screen because my brain was like baked, totally baked after following this World Cup. I hope if there is another World Cup, so at least they have some consistent time, at least in the night or in the. And there have been some questions raised by some journalists from other countries also, that why every World Cup has to be on Indian prime time. It should be according to the host nation, and they should attract home nation viewers more. So it would have allowed a lot of Americans to actually come to watch the games if it would have happened during the American night time.
Yeah, like all the India games for us was at 9:30 in the morning. So like we used to struggle following during office hours, but you guys were actually able to watch it nice at 8 p.m. It will start just like IPL time for you. Yeah. So that was weird. And again, another thing that you mentioned, so I remember another thing that is raised is why India and Pakistan always have to be in the same group. So that also needs to change, I think.
It is not because they put generally those are lucky draw fixtures. They don't put this team in the. No one will have. I mean, from what I see, all the teams and players and coaches we assemble at a place, and then before us they take out those chits, and then those groups will be formed.
No, I think India Pakistan they always put in the same, because you see a pattern since the 2007 World Cup where India had early exit.
No, that's what she's saying, that it should not happen like that, because because it should be a lucky draw, but
It is not,
ICC
but
has
it is not though. Yeah.
certainly fixed
Yeah.
India Pakistan to be a fixture in every World Cup, and it's the only reason is money that
And they
Money,
know
this
the
yeah.
game
fans
will
haven't seen those two teams playing bilateral, so they want to see this match, so they are putting it every time in the league
exactly.
stage. Yeah.
Exactly. But again, like Sowmya said, like a tournament,
Yeah.
how a tournament fixtures are decided, it's this is not the ideal way to play a tournament.
Yes.
Okay, once in a while, if they meet, it should be like we should be thankful to the gods that we have such good luck
Mm.
that India and Pakistan are playing. But just you are artificially uh, curating a situation where India and Pakistan are in the same group
Yeah.
always every World Cup. I mean, yeah,
It should be a
it's
random event for sure. Yeah.
it
And
should
in
be a
this World
random
Cup,
event.
actually, two stages were fixed. That was first time we are seeing like, so we already knew
Yeah.
like the toppers of Group A will play these two particular teams. So everything was fixed in this World Cup. Like we already knew India and Australia will play together in the next stage if they qualify. So even the seedings were fixed. Like A1, A2 were fixed. Like India was always going to be A1, Pakistan A2 if they won. If they don't win, then someone else will become A2, which USA eventually became. So even that level was fixed this time.
And I love how USA came.
US versus Pakistan game had a different feeling. So I was actually traveling at that time. I unfortunately missed the match, and my boss texted me, who is an American guy, never watches cricket. He texted me, "Pakistan sucks ass." And I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "We beat Pakistan, man." And I'm like, then I just catching the highlights, and it was the best moment for me, other than the World Cup win. Yeah.
I think that match created more interest in US than actually US hosting the World Cup. And today I also read somewhere that US actually got eliminated in Copa America in the last 16 stage
In the
in
soccer,
the
yeah.
football. And there is a media channel that has written actually USA cricket team did better than USA football team in the World Cup. So actually now there is a reason for American viewers to watch cricket, and it's just because of that one game that they
Yeah.
won versus Pakistan. And talking about this World Cup, I mean the pitches were very different. Like Sowmya said, these are not normal cricketing pitches. They were drop-in pitches prepared in New York. I think in
First
Dallas
of all,
also.
that idea was so bizarre, man. Like it was so hard to visualize me कि भाई plane में Australia से pitch उठा के आएगा, crane में से रखेंगे. How do they even do this? Like this is logistically such a difficult thing to do, but
Yeah, they actually divide the pitch into two parts, and they carry one part and one part. Like I think
and
it
उसके
it
बाद भी
comes
that
like
pitch underperformed so badly.
Be a big matter because that size dimension box can come in any cargo.
But
yeah.
pitch का तबीयत खराब हो गया था traveling के बाद, so it didn't perform well.
Yeah, man. I think it must have come by sea and got seasickness
Seasickness.
because I mean, it was good for the bowlers. I am sure, like we saw Henrik Norke actually say that what's the point? What's the point if every ball goes for a six? You stop enjoying the sixes. After a point, you're like, okay, that's a six. Instead of wow, he has hit a six. So that change has been there in cricket. Actually, I think one of our comments section, one of the viewers also asked, like the game has changed. If earlier we used to appreciate players who used to take time and then accelerate, but now we want sixes from ball one from every player. So the game has changed because the competition has increased. The bat sizes have become so big that if you play a below par strike rate innings, you will be punished. So unfortunately, yes, Samir I think had asked that question. I just
Yeah.
want to say that yes, definitely the game has changed. But what this World Cup did is it neutralized that big bats, and it gave something to the bowlers. They really enjoyed the bowling. Like Sowmya spoke in the earlier video that you need to enjoy your sport, and bowlers actually enjoyed their sport because there was something. If you see the early matches, how South Africa played in New York, or how Indian and Pakistani bowlers bowled in New York, and even Papua New Guinea. They troubled West Indies at one point of time. I thought West Indies was going to lose against Papua New Guinea, and
Yeah.
the entire thing in the uh, group stage really caught us off guard because we were coming from an IPL where we were seeing sixes getting hit every ball almost, and 250, 260 totals were being made, and they were chased by the teams. So we really got a reality check, and I think. One of our guests I had invited yesterday, Gaurav, he was actually mentioning that league cricket is very different from international cricket because in international cricket, you always have a different kind of pressure. You can't play so freely like you play in league cricket. You are very pressure free in league cricket and you can take more risks. But there is a lot at stake in international cricket.
You're
And so
representing your
even
country also. That start coming to your mind, I think,
yeah,
at
so
one
even
stage.
you'll see that 170, 180 are good scores in international cricket, which is not a thing in league cricket. But in international cricket, you'll see that 170 is a tough target to chase. No matter the pitch conditions, it's always going to be a tough target.
Yeah, well said. Actually, I want to bring that comment from our viewer. So he raised a very good question, and it was a two-part question. So if you can see this, Samir Ray was asking, he wanted to ask about the game is changing, like, and he was particularly asking about international IPL stars like JFM from Australia, Abhishek Sharma. So, and he was asking, is baseball the future of Test cricket? That was another one of his question. And mainly he wants to ask about the ODI World Cup because he had this conversation too. Should we rate this same as ODI World Cup triumph? And he's asking about that. That's the second part. Like, do you think ODI World Cup Championship is same as T20 World Cup Championship now? And he lastly, he wanted to ask about associate nations.
So my view is that obviously ODI World Cup is the biggest prize because it has some history behind it. And the history is that it started in 1975. And there are so many great names attached to it. Like Viv Richards never played T20 cricket. Clive Lloyd never played T20 cricket. Kapil Dev never played T20 cricket. So you can't, judge. Maybe after 50 years, T20 cricket will be the most important World Cup. But right now, at present, I think ODI cricket is the greatest prize in cricket. I don't know if World Test Championship or in future it can happen that World Test Championship and T20 World Cup. These are the only two prizes that are most important. But right now, still ODI World Cup has that place. So I still feel it is the most important tournament. And also because there are 9 best teams playing and it's a longer format, there are less chances of an upset. If Australia had played Afghanistan in ODI World Cup, we saw that they recovered from an
90%.
impossible situation. But because the game allowed time, because Pat Cummins could play 8, what was that innings of Pat Cummins? Some 70 balls, he scored 8 runs.
Yeah.
You can't play that kind of innings in T20 cricket. So Australia lost to Afghanistan once they lost the wickets. But in ODI World Cup, it allowed the better team to come back and actually win. I'm not saying Afghanistan is, of course, Australia is a better team.
I slightly disagree. I mean, I also grew up in that area where ODI cricket used to be everyone's favorite. But with the interest of time, we have to, and feasibility and practicality, I think T20 World Cup is the way to go. See, forget about the World Cup tournament. 90% of the cricket we consume is T20 cricket because all the leagues around are playing T20 cricket. I personally struggled to follow the 50-over World Cup when it happened 6 months ago. I was waiting for it from 4 years. But when it happened, I was like, man, 8 hours is a really long time. And that happened, that thinking changed because you're constantly consuming T20 cricket. So, and plus, like if you want to promote cricket in US, my boss was making fun. What is Test cricket? 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. This sounds like office. He was so for the interest of the game, I think T20 Cricket World Cup along with the World Test Championship. That's for us purists. I think these two can go. ODI cricket is just a middleman where it's not fitting anywhere. I'm sorry.
For 80s and 90s kids who like the classic cricket, right? Test cricket always comes first, and then ODI. This T20 like. अभी तो शुरू हुआ था types kind of I agree with
entertainment value कितना ज्यादा है ना, like it has brought more people to cricket because सबको लगता है अच्छा 3 घंटे ही देखना है, okay, I can watch the game.
Yeah, that like timings and all to this current generation, yes, I totally agree. And how T20 is going forward and the future of T20 is good, but for that classic Ganguly shots or the classic cricket we wanted to watch, personally I used to enjoy Test cricket more if you love the game more, right?
Yeah.
This is all hitting, and it's like that for me now.
Maybe no, Test cricket, like if you have a tough pitch, you want to see a batter surviving that tough spell. So yeah, if you want to enjoy that kind of cricket, just go to Test cricket. And also, Shikhar, T20 World Cup is more difficult to win. Australia had that constant domination from 2003 to 2011. So we got bored seeing Australia win again and again. But in T20 cricket, no team has won back to back. So why not T20 cricket, man?
Exactly. That's because of the luck factor in T20 cricket, which is not there in ODI cricket. And like Sowmya said, we want to watch those classic shots. As purists, we love Test cricket. Fortunately, ODI cricket has some elements of Test cricket in it. Yes. If you see the first 10 overs or how to bat in the middle overs in ODI cricket, it's a long period to bat. 30 overs, you have to bat from 11 overs to 40 overs. So you have to rotate strike. You have to do a lot of hard work to bat in that phase. You can't just go bang, bang, bang in 11 to 40 overs. It's a different skill. It brings an element of Test cricket also. And that's why I feel ODI cricket is special because we get some elements of T20 cricket also, like how you play overs 41 to 50 and how you play overs 11 to 40 is actually totally two different skills. And that's why I feel it also eliminates a lot of luck factor that goes into T20 cricket. But I agree with you on one point, that T20 cricket for this generation, what Sowmya is saying, like now we are used to Instagram, we are used to TikTok, and our attention span is reducing. Even for me, like even I consider I watch every ball of Test cricket or I watch every ball of ODI cricket. But the attention span is reducing, and for cricket to spread, across the world and become a truly global sport, it is already the second most played sport in the world after football. So the only thing that can spread cricket across the world is T20 cricket, because I think fans find it more entertaining and they can understand it easily. It's not very complicated to understand. It's very simple. It's just 20 overs. Like someone in the American newspaper explained the match result between India and Pakistan as 119 beats 112. Like they are explaining some NBA scorecard of basketball. It was like.
And I saw that meme about burgers, that this team had 10 guys eat 119 burgers. Now other team is trying to eat 120 burgers in this much time.
And this many eaters have puked and they have been eliminated. So that is the wickets. And yeah, that was quite funny actually.
Yeah, coming back to the Associate Nations impact also, like you said, other teams can also feel this format quickly, follow this. So USA and also Scotland, I would say they played very good cricket this time. Scotland was so close to reaching the Super 8 stage. They lost to Australia in that last over, but otherwise they also played fantastic cricket.
That is something that I felt this tournament was not planned well, because that situation should have never come when one team knows what it needs to do to eliminate the other team. Australia could have lost that match and allowed actually they could have just lost and allowed Scotland to qualify and eliminate England. And finally, what happened? England made the semi-finals, but Australia didn't even make the semi-finals. So I think it was very un-Australian also, because Australians generally are able to take those hard calls for the benefit of
just for themselves. Yeah,
just for themselves. They are very ruthless in that manner. But still, man, it was an incredible tournament. I really liked how the associates were able to play the big nations, which did not happen in earlier editions. This time they were able to. We saw USA upset Pakistan, Nepal almost upsetting South Africa. They just lost by one run to South Africa. I think that was an amazing match. And Papua New Guinea troubling West Indies. So we wouldn't have seen all this if it was like the last edition of the tournament, where only two teams go, and then there is again a ODI World Cup kind of competition.
Where that's what there is more randomness in T20 cricket. Also, if you're playing in England or West Indies, the rain also plays a fun factor. Okay, one of your easy match will be rained off, you'll only get 1 point. So that just creates more chaos. So, for example, Pakistan, they had slight chance of coming back, right? But once their match did not happen with Ireland and Florida, they were kicked out. So,
yeah. Also, talking about Indian team, I really want to talk a little bit about Indian team and their success. Why this time we succeeded while we failed the other times. I think we were more aggressive this time, and we really we understood the template of T20 cricket. And the template of T20 cricket is simple. Even no matter how tough the pitch is, you just have to be aggressive at all the times. You can't be playing under the pressure of 1.4 billion people. What will they think if I play this kind of shot? Like it used to happen, I felt, especially when we opened with KL Rahul, and even how Virat played in last 2 World Cups. I feel that there was an added sense of responsibility, as if they are playing ODI cricket or Test cricket, that we want to conserve our wickets. But this time, I liked how Virat played. Honestly, he got a lot of criticism. I don't understand why, because that's how you play in T20 cricket. So someone actually said, one ex-cricketer actually made this comment. In T20 cricket, what you need to accept mentally is you should be okay to get out. It's okay to get out in T20 cricket, but it's not okay to get out in Test cricket. It's not okay to get out maybe in ODI cricket. But in T20 cricket, your brain has to be conditioned that it's okay to get out. And sometimes you have to sacrifice your wicket also, so that other players get a chance and they can, maybe they're having a good day, maybe they're in good rhythm. Like we saw how Surya Kumar Yadav, in all the matches, he came with a positive intent and he got the chance because Virat got out early. So he came early. Rishabh Pant played smashing knock versus Pakistan. So all those things would not have happened if the openers had carried on playing 10 overs, 12 overs.
Yeah, definitely. So, we have seen this. If eight batters are used, they generally make a higher score than if you just say 100 run partnership happened at the top order of 70 balls. That's not much useful, rather than all 8 batters getting a chance. So actually, I felt when India's innings were over, we made 170 in that final. I thought we were 10 runs short. Had Hardik batted 3 or 4 overs in the end, we would have even got 180. But he did not get a chance to bat that day. So didn't Jadeja also. So that is a very important element. And Shikhar, you're right. I think the boys were told to just do their own thing. Like Rishabh Pant getting out again and again through trying to reverse sweep a spinner, and he was getting LBW out. But he didn't care. He just I know how to score quick runs. This is how I'm going to do it. Right? And coach accepted it. And in the end, Rishabh Pant played a beautiful part, because I feel now. So guys, I would strongly recommend to check Shikhar's ball by ball analysis of last 5 overs of South Africa versus India. now, initially I was thinking, man, that was Hardik's last over, or maybe that was Bumrah's magic. But now I feel we won the World Cup because Rishabh Pant delayed the match by 5 minutes between 15th and 16th over. What happened then? Then Klaasen had lost his patience and he got out the first ball he faced. So Rishabh Pant actually played a very important role in that match. Yeah, Sowmya, any comments on the Indian team, how they played?
Yeah. See, November thing affected them a lot. So everyone had that aggression and everything. And as Shikha, sorry, I forgot your name, the other.
Shikhar and Pratik.
Shikhar, yeah. So Shikhar told T20 format is like for every ball, it is a do or die situation. So how much ever the criticism, as he told Kohli faced, he was ready to get out. Like sometimes you need the experience, sometimes you need just go there and play. Because every 6 or every 4 counts kind of thing in T20.
Yeah.
So everyone did their best. Not a single person in the team were like, okay, they were okay kind of. Finals though, it was everyone's effort that bought us the cup. At least in other matches, we can at least figure out the favorites. Okay, this person played well, this person bowled well. But finals, it was because of every team member.
Yeah. I like how also T20 cricket brings more importance to stats, like number of boundaries Sowmya mentioned. And Shikhar, if you remember, we were calculating dot balls for every match, right? Like West Indies, for example, had 50 plus dot balls in every match, and that's one of the reasons we think that why they got eliminated early. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we will do later, team wise, there is like we have to talk about how each team's performed. I mean, for a later day, we'll keep it, but I think West Indies, I felt was the only team that could have, beaten India in the finals because how they play, the firepower they have. But unfortunately, their own pitches, actually led to their downfall because these are not the pitches ideal for hitting and the ball is not really coming on. So actually, what happened is ultimately India became the favorites when they saw the pitches and they had also picked the right squad and the right team combination because earlier we had seen India uh, not not using that many all-rounders, which they used this time. And that gave a balance to the squad.
I think we've never seen 4 all-rounders for India. Dubey, Jadeja, Aksar and four.
I like the Aksar. 1 over he just didn't play well, but I love how he played like all
most of the tournament. Yeah, even his batting in the finals was very crucial.
Yeah, batting was amazing. Yeah, just 1 over bought him little disgrace, but overall
and he overshadowed Jadeja actually, who's a senior experienced all-rounder, but he overshadowed him with his performance.
Actually, Aksar should have been our main guy since a long time in T20 cricket, I feel.
No, he's not able to play because Jadeja is preferred in the 11.
Yeah, exactly. And last World Cup, Jadeja got injured, so he came into the squad, but it was in Australia. The World Cup was in Australia. If it was any other condition except for Australia, I think he would have played well there also. But it's very tough when you have not played anything in Australia and suddenly, go out in Australia and play. So it was not easy for Aksar in that World Cup. But I think he's been phenomenal in T20 cricket. With the bat, he's better than Jadeja. With the ball, he's better than Jadeja. Only in fielding, we could say that he's maybe a little bit lower than Jadeja, but here also he took the most important catch of Mitchell Marsh that day.
Man, that was such a heartwarming video. Prime Minister meeting all the players. He explained that catch to Modi ji. He was saying that. So initially I thought it would be an easy catch, but then with the breeze, the ball was just carrying away. So I just decided I have to jump and grab it. He was even saying that he was initially thinking to use his left, the predominant hand, but then he just saw that the direction the ball is going. He just jumped with his right hand up and he caught it. So fielding also was very good from India's point.
And the breeze, I remembered from the breeze that how they use the breeze every over. They had to actually calculate where the breeze, because these West Indies are islands.
Yeah,
and they are all very near to the sea. So there had to be a lot of calculation on where the breeze is flowing, which bowler to bowl, how to defend the bigger, use the dimensions of the ground. So all those things actually became a factor in this World Cup, which normally doesn't happen in closed stadiums. In India, we have these closed stadiums. Australia also we have closed stadiums, but these are open stadiums and very near to the sea. So that actually affected a lot of gameplay, and kudos to India that they were able to actually outthink opposition in terms of these conditions. They were the better team and they were able to outthink all the opposition actually to win 8 games. Is amazing.
I remember in ODI World Cup also, the breeze played a factor in like Wankhede. If you remember, it used to swing during the second inning start. Yeah. evening
Yeah,
time.
in India, Wankhede and Chennai are the only grounds where actually
breeze
are
goes.
located near to the sea, and Checkpock, Chennai is actually very closed stadium. So actually there is not lot of breeze, but Wankhede mein there is it's an open stadium, so lot of breeze comes through actually. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys. This was a very good quick recap. We'll probably do another one, Shikhar, just team by team analysis. But thank you,
Yeah.
Sowmya. Excellent debut on Cricket Caviar.
And sorry, Shikhar, I was getting Shikhar Dhawan's name. I'm like, is your name Shikhar or my? So sorry for that.
Actually, I tell all my colleagues that remember my name as Shikhar Dhawan.